There are so many tools out there for Amazon sellers, it can honestly get overwhelming. But in today's video, I'm going to be addressing all 9 tools I use in my business at this point in 2019. So if you guys are ready, let's get right to it. Hey everyone, my name is Kris, and on this channel, I show different ways I make money online. And the whole goal of this channel is to help and motivate as many people as possible to start. Now, I'm really excited about this video today because I get to give you guys a brief overview of all the tools I use in my business, break down the pros and cons, the costs, and why I love these tools. And some of these tools I have talked about on my channel before, while others I have not. But that being said, this is not a tutorial video, but if I have done a tutorial on that software, you can see that underneath the timestamp. That way, if you guys watch this video and ever want to go back to certain parts, you can quickly do so, and it will help save you guys time. But before we get too deep into today's topic, I always give out a 1-hour call to someone who likes and comments on every single video. And once again, I've been getting so many new faces to the channel, and I want to speak with all of you guys. I'm going to be giving out 2 calls right here. So if either of you guys won, reach out to me on social media. I would love to set something up. And really quickly, guys, I will have a link to every software underneath the timestamp. And if it is a paid tool, and if I do have any coupon off or any extended free trial for you guys, I will definitely be sure to offer that. And the last thing I want to say is I did just revise my free 40-page ebook, Online Arbitrage Start to Scale. It's going to cover all of these tools. If you guys haven't picked that up yet, I highly recommend checking that out. Link will be in the description below. All right, let's get to tool number 1, which is now, tool number 1 is Kiba, and I think that this is probably one of the most important tools when selling on Amazon. You're going to need this no matter what business model you choose. Whenever you start, you have to get it. Now, there is a paid version. I don't use that. I just use the free version. And so I'm going to break it down as quickly as possible. But what it does is it measures previous sale history of an item on Amazon, as well as helping you calculate the influx of supply and demand. So to highlight some things that this Kiba is showing for you right now, it's just a free Chrome extension. And really quickly, it shows me, okay, I can see how many people have been selling this item on Amazon, however many days it's been listed. In this case, as you guys can see, it's been listed for over 1,000 days. You can also see if Amazon's been selling it. So in this case, Amazon has been selling this item. And you can also see where new third-party FBA sellers have been selling this item at what cost, which is what people like me and you are. And there's more useful tools I like to check, just depending on what I'm looking at. These are all the settings I use on my Kiba in 2019. Highly recommend checking out that tutorial I did on this. Now, the next tool I'm going to be covering is the FBA Multitool. And I really do believe that this tool is almost mandatory or something like it for any kind of online arbitrage or wholesale sourcing. And really quickly, what this tool does is it's $20 a month, so it is paid. And it does a few things. It allows me to see if I can sell it because some items are gated on Amazon. It allows me to see if it's hazardous or not. I can quickly see how many are actually selling. I can see the competitor's stock levels, so I can calculate that really quickly with just a click of a button. And I can also calculate profitability. And so this is something, it does 4 things that you just need to know all in one tool. It really helps streamline the sourcing process in my experience. So really quickly, if I plug in $5, you can quickly see that I'll make 102% ROI on this item. And I have done a tutorial on this in the past. Now, the next tool I'm going to speak about is probably the one that I've touched most on my channel, and it's tactical arbitrage. Now, there are 2 facets to this tool. One I actually use more than the other one, and I'm going to explain what they do. So the first membership of tactical arbitrage is $99 a month, and this helps sellers with online arbitrage. So buying items from retailers to send into Amazon for a profit. Now, I truly believe that in 2019, you need an arsenal of tools to succeed with OA. I truly believe that it's going to be very hard to manually dig through sites. It has stores built into tactical arbitrage where you can scan that retailer's store, so such as Walmart, and it will quickly compare the prices of those items in Walmart to the prices on Amazon. And then there are filters in place that you can quickly filter through ROI, through how quickly an item's selling, and there's many other filters you can use. Now, obviously, the software is not that simple, but once you get the hang of it, it's extremely powerful. Now, The other part of the software which I use is an additional $60 a month, and this is more for wholesale. I only recommend purchasing this part if you are not just starting wholesale, but maybe a little bit more experienced, because here's the cons with their wholesale side is that from my experience compared to other softwares that scan wholesale data, it is slower. But that being said, there are some times where you only can use their wholesale software. What I mean by that is when you're approaching suppliers to buy from in bulk, many times they give you inventory spreadsheets, but sometimes they don't. So what you have to do is you can either one, look through their site manually, and if they have thousands of items, it's going to take you days, or you can install the website into Tactical Arbitrage. And as you guys can see, I actually have a search running right now with several thousand items that I get to go through once it's done. So very, very happy with this tool, and it's definitely enhanced wholesale research for me. Now, when it comes to actually scanning the majority of the spreadsheets I receive from suppliers, the current software I'm using is Scan Unlimited. And this is just a very quick way you can plug in a supplier's spreadsheet that you may get from a supplier into the software. And I can quickly filter based on several different criteria. I can filter by rank, I can filter by gross profit, I can filter by ROI. And this is actually a spreadsheet I have uploaded in the system now that I plan on going through a little bit later. But as you guys can see, there are definitely ways you can filter this to quickly analyze supplier data. And for wholesale, you will need this, period. You know, not necessarily Scan Unlimited, but you're going to need something like it. You're not going to manually go through suppliers' inventory one by one. And I have done a tutorial on this on my channel. Okay guys, so the next tool I use is Helium 10. So Helium 10, I use this for more than just one reason. I use it for product research as well as listing optimization. And once again, guys, I use this more for wholesale. I don't think this is going to be applicable to arbitrage, but I do think if you are pursuing wholesale or even just in wholesale or buying in bulk from name brand suppliers, I think you definitely need this tool for sure. So what I do is I use the black box tool for Amazon product research, which I have covered on my channel before. And I also use Cerebro and Magnet for listing optimization and PPC. Now, this is something I've not covered on my channel yet. I plan to in the future. I just haven't done that yet. The reason why I drive PPC to some of my listings is because we have higher stock levels for them. Now, if you're just purchasing a few items, you're not going to want to drive. And if it's not replenishable, there's really no point of driving PPC to that listing, because as a seller on Amazon that's selling name brand products, when we're driving PPC, it's increasing everyone's listing. So everyone is potentially getting sales as well. But this could really work out in our favor if we're selling a replenishable and we can continually reorder that item. The reason why I choose this software, the Helium 10 package, over something like Jungle Scout is because it doesn't have all of these features. Now, Jungle Scout does have a product feature web app, which I don't use. And that package right there cost me $97 a month. Now, speaking of Jungle Scout, I still do use the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. And now this tool is definitely mandatory if you're a private label seller. At least from what I know, I think it is. But for what I do, arbitrage and wholesale, I don't think it's mandatory for arbitrage. And for wholesale, it's not really mandatory, but it will enhance your product research. So something I've not really covered on my channel is I use this tool to help me with product research. So maybe I'm interested in a brand. I might type in Maybelline. And then what I do is I will run the Jungle Scout Chrome extension over that brand name. And then in the top left corner, you can then plug in filters that meet your criteria. So let's say you only want to see listings that Maybelline is selling that's between a 1 and 150,000 rank on Amazon, etc. And that's how you can do that. And then once you set the filters in, it will show all the listings that meet that criteria. You can extract to a CSV and go from there. Just another angle you guys can do product research. Once again, this tool, I believe, is a 1-year payment of $99 per year, which comes out to be $8 a month. So the next tool I use is really only for arbitrage and sometimes wholesale, but not too much. And that is a seller tool, which is the Scoutify app for your phone, formerly known as FBA Scan. Now, this costs $35 a month, and The reason why I think that this is mandatory for people who do arbitrage is because there's sometimes where you will not have Wi-Fi. So that Amazon seller app that you guys use to scan items, it's great and everything. But if you don't have Wi-Fi, well, you're stuck and you can't do anything. So what this app has is, and the reason why it's $35 a month is because it has this thing called database mode, where it can upload all the inventory in Amazon in your smartphone. And then from there, if you're at a place where there's no Wi-Fi, you won't be in trouble. So, and I still pay for this because I still do a little bit of arbitrage to where I can justify it. Like if I go to the grocery store and I want to see, let me check out these protein bars, I still check them out. And the Wi-Fi in this grocery store isn't the best. Now, if you're talking book sales and you plan on going to a book sale, you have to have the FBA scan app, period. Like there's no way that you just can't have it. You need something with a database mode. And to my knowledge, it's the only one that offers database mode for all categories on Amazon. But if someone knows otherwise, correct me if I'm wrong, and I would love to check out that other app for sure. So this next tool is something I've never really talked about on my channel before, but it's definitely something I always recommend to people, and that is inventorylab.com. This really streamlines the listing process. So let's say I have a ton of items that I need to list. Instead of manually typing in each item into Amazon, you can scan your items into the software and it will pull up the exact listing with the exact cost, the buy box. You can insert your profit and it will tell you the exact amount of profit you're sending in per shipment. So not only is this useful from an accounting perspective, it's extremely beneficial when it comes to time and speed with listing your items. The only people I do not recommend this is for private label sellers. So really anyone that only has 2 or 3 of an item, you're not going to need this tool. But if you start getting outside of that 10, 20, 30, 100, 200 items in your catalog, then you definitely need this tool. By going to one book sale, you will definitely surpass that 100 item total in one book sale. And in the description below, even though I've not done a tutorial on this, I will link the one I watched. So the last tool I'm going to touch on is my Repricer. And say what you want about Repricers, you can do the best product research, you can source, you can do everything I just mentioned. But if you aren't staying competitive on your price, you could potentially be sitting on a ton of inventory. So let me explain which one I use and then which Repricer might be best for you. So the Repricer I use right now currently is informed.co, formerly known as App Eagle. Now, this is not cheap. It costs $150 a month. But the reason why I recommend this Repricer to people that are in more competitive markets is because of this. So when you're using a Repricer such as Repriceit.com, which is $10 a month, Repriceit.com, you set up times to where this software will automatically make your prices competitive to other sellers on Amazon. But Repriceit sets it by the hour. So let's say I set a schedule at 10:29 and that Repricer reprices my items. Someone could be using informed.co and at 10:30, they will make their prices competitive. They will beat that person's listing or match it. Guys, I want to clarify here. I always suggest never beating your competitor's price. 95 to 99% of the time, I'm always price matching my competitor because you can still price match and share the sale, assuming you have good account health. Now, if you don't have good account health, you're going to have to beat that person's price because you won't be sharing the buy box. So it's extremely important to have good account health. The informed.co Repricer is 100% mandatory if you want to start selling Nikes on Amazon or just get in any competitive market. To give you guys some experience from me, I went to a Nike outlet. We sent those items into Amazon. We tripled our Nike sales daily by just putting the Repricer on because we couldn't stay competitive. No one was wanting to buy our shoes. So once again, guys, this is the one I recommend. But if you're just getting started or you're into book selling or, something a little bit more lax, like maybe you're doing retail arbitrage, I recommend just picking up Repriceit.com. You're going to want to start moving into the informed.co when you start getting larger quantities of items and more capital tied up. This is the one I use. And now speaking of account health, the last software I use right now is kibly.com, and this is strictly for gaining feedback on my seller account. And this is $40 a month. But you can prorate it. So if you don't meet that minimum, I believe their lowest membership is $40 a month. But let's say you're only selling 200 listings, you can hit them up and they will gladly prorate it for you accordingly. So just keep that in mind, guys. And for this software, I do have a 2-week free trial in the description below. Definitely check that out. And what this will do is it will send emails automatically to my buyers on Amazon, and it will legally get them to leave feedback. Now, it's not directly asking for feedback because that's against Amazon's terms of service. And if you continue doing that, eventually you will get caught and you will get your account suspended. But this does things 100% legal. And I have done a review on this to where I ended up quadrupling the amount of feedback I was gaining on my seller account. And those results still have proven true. Once again, guys, keep in mind, there will always be something that happens out of your control where a buyer will leave bad feedback and you can't get it removed. It's just going to happen. But this will ensure that you're getting those good seller feedback when you can to offset that when it does happen. And so lastly, I want to break down for you guys on a spreadsheet all of my costs, the description, who they're for, and just the cost per month. So as you guys can see, feel free to screenshot this, whatever you guys want to do. But what I did was I broke down the service as well as the cost, and you guys can quickly see, okay, do I recommend this for arbitrage, wholesale, both, maybe only one over the other? And I also did include here, just so everyone could see my entire cost to run this business. And that's the virtual assistant, which I just use him for product research. And I have done a video on how I found my virtual assistants, etc. But that comes out to be $400 a month. And the grand total to run this Amazon business is $993.10 a month, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, I want to go ahead and end on this is, what tool did I leave off here that you think I should have included? What's your favorite tool? If you just had to pick a couple, which one would you pick? I don't recommend everyone just start into this. You shouldn't be just starting on Amazon and purchasing all of these. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to scale into these. Purchase these things when you have to, when you realize you're losing time. Maybe you start off doing online arbitrage without tactical arbitrage, and then you realize how much time you could be saving, and then you do the free trial and then scale into it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and close out here with, if you guys had to pick just a couple of tools, which ones would you pick? Or are there some that you guys have in your business that I may not have covered? Let me know in the description below. I'm really interested to hear about that. And lastly, if you do have any questions, post them in the YouTube comment section. I always get back to my questions. And you can also join the free Facebook group. Not only am I active in there asking questions, there's tons of other like-minded people answering questions as well that you can network with and just communicate with. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and close out here, and I will see you next time. Hey everyone, I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for more videos like this. In the description below, I will also be leaving a link to the video. I was on Rake and Profits channel on YouTube, just talking about my story. So if you guys want to go check that out, I will leave a link for that in the description below. See you guys next time.